Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the major, minor, and tritone intervals series. Thank you guys so much again for your support. Hope everyone's having a great February so far. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do dive into everything, I just wanted to say thank you guys for your continual support. Thank you for just all 1,000 plus of you guys up to this point. Before we begin, we're just gonna do a quick word of prayer. So, Father in Jesus' name, God, thank you so much for just this day and everything you've given us. Thanks that we made it to the month of February. Thank you for how you kept us from all hurt, harm, and danger, seen and unseen. I pray that you would just bless this time that we have with just learning and getting better and just growing as musicians and as people in general. And I pray that you would just help us to have strong relationships with you at the end of the day. And I pray for the person on the other side of the screen that they take what that they learn from this and that they take it and apply it and that it really changes their lives, God. And we just invite you to this space and in Jesus' name, amen. All right, so thank you guys once again for joining me. So we're in the last key, or last video rather, we were in the key of F sharp. So today we'll be in the key of G. So we'll be in the key of G today. And okay. Okay, so once again, I'm just gonna go over the scale degrees just to begin with, and then we'll go into the intervals and their relationships with one another, beginning with the major intervals, and then continuing on from there. So G is gonna be our 1. Okay, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4, D is 5, E is 6, okay, F sharp is 7, and then back to 1, which is G. Okay, so there's that. So as far as the major intervals are concerned, we're going to highlight and focus on G, which is going to be our one scale degree. It is back to the 1, as sometimes you'll hear that, and if you're in a church band setting, you'll hear that a lot of times, depending on not every band plays like this, but from the band that I play with and from a lot of churches that incorporate praise breaks, praise like talkback mics and things of that nature, just for direction. There's going to be the 1, or you'll hear them reference this as the 1, or whatever key you're beginning in. So in the past videos, I've been mentioning half steps and whole steps. So we're going to take that concept in mind, and we're going to move forward with that. So to get from, to highlight rather, our major second from G to A, which is next door, that's going to be a whole step. Okay, so it's like I'm going up the scale degree like I just did a second ago, but here's the 1, and then so I need a whole step, and then once again, a whole step is comprised of 2 half steps. If it's just 1 half step, that means it's just 1 step to begin with. So here's G once again, and then all I'm doing is just going up a whole step. So here's G, and then those 2 half steps. So G, A. Okay, so G sharp, which is my first half step, and then that makes a whole step getting to A. Okay, so I'm gonna go G, A, and then we're gonna go to the 3, which is B, and then that's gonna be another 2 half steps, once again from A to B. So once again, a whole step is 2 half steps, and then 1 half step is just 1 step. So it could be from B to C, which is actually what we're going to do right now. B to C, that's our whole, half step. So far we got G to A, that's a whole step, and then from A to B is to another whole step. So A sharp, B, and that's going to be your major third, by the way. So we've got a major second, and then then we got a major third. Okay, and then this is where we incorporate our half step in the key of G. So B to C is just one half step. There's nothing in between B and C. And then from G to C is our perfect fourth. Okay, and then so we need another step to get from C to D, because from C to D is a whole step, and that is also where D is our perfect fifth from G. So C, C sharp, and D. So C, C sharp, and D. So we got a perfect fifth right here. Okay, so we need another whole step to get from from D to E. So here's another whole step. So D, D sharp, and E. And this is our major six scale degree relationship, by the way. Okay, and then so we do, once again, we need another half step from E to F sharp. So another whole step. I don't know if I said half step or whole step, but we do need to get to our major seven, which is F sharp. So we were at E just a second ago. So to get from E to F sharp, we would need to use the whole step concept. So here's E, F, F sharp. Okay, and then we're back to the one. So from F sharp back to G is just a half step. So there's that. As far as the minor intervals are concerned, we are going to keep some of the same notes from the major scale. However, it's going to switch up and be different. So here's our minor scales. So from G to A, that's still the same as our major scale. So that's going to be a whole step once again. So G sharp, A. But instead of going a whole step to B, we need to go a half step. So from A to B flat instead of A to B, because now we're in the minor scale, minor intervals relationship. So whole step and then half step from A to B flat. Okay, and then we got that same concept. So we're at, well, actually not the same concept. So in the major scale, we went from B to C, which is our, that's a half step, but we need a whole step from B to get to C, which is our 4 in the key of G. So G, whole step to A, half step to B flat, right? And then instead of going to B, we need to sharp that B and make it C natural, which is a whole step. So B, C, to minor third, perfect fourth once again, just like in the major scale. Okay, and then we do have D, which is still the perfect fifth of G. And then that's another whole step as well. Whole step there. Okay, and then so we need, instead of we need our minor 6 interval instead of the major 6, which is E. So instead of going to E, we need to flat the 6 and make it minor. So it'll be G, whole step to A, half step to B flat, whole step to C, whole step to D, and then a half step up to E flat. And that's our minor six scale interval. Okay, so there's that. Okay, and then so from E flat, we need to get to in our scale of the G minor, it's going to be F natural. And why it's going to be F natural? Because getting to F sharp is the major seven of G, whereas the minor seven, which is what we want, that's going to be F natural. So G, whole step to A, half step to B flat, whole step to C, whole step to D, half step to E flat, and then whole step from E flat to F. And that's your minor seventh. But in the key of G, that major, that would be F sharp. But we need to make it a half step lower. We need to flat the F sharp and make it F natural. And then back to the one, which is G. Okay, so that was the major that we just did, the first one, the very first one. The second one we literally just finished with. That's the minor relationships and the intervals for G minor. But for the tritones for G, this is how you can locate your tritone intervals. So we have the key of G in mind. So what we want to do is you want to find the major third and the minor seven notes of your of whatever key you're in. I'm sorry, I don't know why. I'm thinking as I go and trying to make it make sense. But so your major third is going to be B, just like we did in the major scale. So that's going to be your major third. So G half step, or G whole step to A, and then from A to B. Okay, so there's that. And then lastly, after that, what you want to do is find your flat seven. So from the scales, from the minor scale that we just did, our flat seven is not going to be F sharp, but we need to flat the F sharp and make it F natural. So that becomes F natural. So that's the major seven. And then that's the minor seven, which is what we want. So this is our tritone in the key of G. And you could play it any way also. It doesn't have to be the way I just played it, F on the bottom, B on top. You can switch up. You can make it a dominant seventh chord, having G in your bass, B as the major third, and then of course the flat seven, which is F. And then that's your G dominant seventh chord. And then a lot of times you can, well, actually not a lot of times, but a good exercise, this is just a side note. When I'm on organ, a lot of times I will implement, like in the in one of the series that I just did not so long ago with I forgot the name of it, but I was using the tritones in my left hand. And one great exercise you could do is utilize your, okay, so it's your pinky and your pointer finger, and just actually no, it's the ring, your left ring finger and your thumb, and then it's your pinky and your pointer finger. And just take that concept. So I'm using that G tritone that we just got, and then I'm going to go up and down chromatically the scale for just going up and down chromatically to get used to that feel of the tritones feel. It'll feel weird at first, so let me just do it slowly. So So there's that. That's F and B, and these are all tritones. That's E and B flat. That's E flat and A, D and A flat. D flat and G, C and F sharp, or C and G flat, and then we're back to the one, which is which is G, not F sharp. But I do like that exercise. So back to we were on the, instead of having F on the bottom, we made B on the bottom, and we went down chromatically. Yeah, like that. So I really like doing that on organ a lot because I can, while I'm doing that with my left hand, I can leave my right hand and my foot to do whatever else sounds good and sounds colorful and full on the organ too. So that definitely works well. And then, so now that we know these, concepts, I'm just going to go over them just one more time. So our major scale, the major intervals rather. So from G to A is going to be a whole step and a major second interval. Okay, and then from G to B, that's a major third, and then you need another half step or another whole step to get there. Major second, major third, and then this is where we have our half step from B to C, and this is our perfect fourth interval from G to C. Okay, and then we need another whole step to get from C to D. And then that's going to be our perfect fifth interval. And then we need another whole step from D to E. That's going to be our major six. Okay, and then we need another whole step from E to F sharp. That is going to be our major seven. The F sharp is going to be our major seventh interval. Okay, and then lastly, we're back to the one. So just a half step from F sharp to G, which is an octave. By the way, I should have mentioned that, but as you can see on the screen, it is an octave, and with my hands playing an octave, you can also see and hear as well that it's an octave. So, and then as far as applications are concerned, I'm trying to think of a great gospel song to utilize that in. So I'm not sure about too many songs in the key of G. Oh yeah, Todd Galbraith's. I think it's better than good. He uses in the, what's it called, the bridge, like he'll go the bass note. He'll do so there's a lick before there's a bass note that's being played that I'm going to show you. So he goes, and then that's the one that's major, but he'll go to the minor seven, which is F. So he'll go to the minor seven, and then the bass the chord progression is it's playing off of a minor seven in the key of G, and then the major four in the key of G. So F, second up version of F, and then back to that minor seven, which is F, and then they'll do that lick again. So, and then I think they do a flat 7, 4, but built on the second inversion, back to the flat 7, or I think they walk it up from the 5 of G, walk it up from the 5 to major 5th to the major 6, and then to the flat 7. There it is. So once again, I'll show you. So the bass, they're playing, so this is G, and then they were playing minor 7, major 6, minor 7. So that's when like those scales come into play. Those major and minor scales, like they'll intertwine. Um, However the song goes. So I'll do it again. So that's major, and then minor 7, and then they'll do a variation of that lick again. Uh, Either they do a 5, 6, flat 7, or they'll do. I think they did a walk up from the 5 as well. I haven't heard that song in so long, but they'll either go 5, 6, minor 7, or they'll just go minor 7, 4, but built on the second inversion, back to the minor 7. And then so that 4, so the 4 of G is a C, our perfect fourth. So just another side note for all of you, a first inversion, what I was mentioning a second ago, where they went. So this is where they went. So this chord right here is a first inversion C, C chord. So C is going to be the root, and then the major third of C, which is E. So that's that's 2 whole steps. 2 whole steps up from the key of C. And then instead of building the C chord on the root, which is C, they built it, or they used that chord that's built on the E, which is our first inversion. So root is C, first inversion is E, second inversion is G, and then it goes back to C. So, but they built the 4, which is C, on E, E natural, and then that's why it's so easy for them to go from E to F and then back to E, or F, E, F. So minor 7, 4, but built on the first inversion, back to the flat 7. So I'll play it again. On that part, on that first part, they go flat 7, 4, once again built on the first inversion, back to the 4, and then they built up the 5, perfect 5th, minor major 6, and then to the flat 7 again. So it's really, really pretty how you can, and really beautiful how you can just intertwine and entangle, well, not entangle, but the way that music is woven into each other. Like there's no, this chord is, or this particular scale degree doesn't necessarily go with this. No, they all do. Like they all have their place and they all work together. So it's really cool and really fun to watch that, and to listen to it as well. So, but yeah, guys, thank you so much. That concludes our major, minor, and tritone intervals video in the key of G. Thank you all so much for watching. Okay. Please like, subscribe, and share, and comment for more content on this page. I have a beats page as well where I make beats. I make a lot of piano beats, ambient beats, just having fun, just making beats. Honestly, it's at Courtney Produces on my YouTube channel. Also, that's where my TikTok is, Courtney Produces, and that's where my Instagram is, Courtney Produces. Please like and follow there, and share as well. For those of you who would like to do lessons, let me know. I am still open to them. Just let me know. Like I have my my email address in the comments, or not the comment section, but the description. So just let me know. It should be open, but the Calendly link should be open, but just let me know personally. That would be awesome. Um, and then I can't remember anything else right now. Oh, I do have a what's it called? Instrumental single called Prophesy, Prophesy. That's on my that's everywhere where you stream. It's under Courtney Danielle Christie. Christie is spelled Christie. So please like and share, and it's also on all social media too as well. So I'm trying to remember everything else. I cannot remember anything else at the moment, but if I do remember something, I'll definitely let you guys know. Please stay tuned for the next key, uh, the next tutorial in the key of A flat. It's going to be really fun. So, and also, oh yes, this is one of the main things I wanted to just mention to you all. I'm going back to doing another preaching chords slash praise break techniques in the next series. So be on the lookout for that, please. And yeah, I believe that's everything. So thank you guys so much for your support. For all 1,000 plus of you guys, thank you again. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.